Welcome to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and Kink Week continues here on the show. And before I take you behind this curtain, where very few people have stepped foot in to explore their fantasies, we need to learn a thing or two about BDSM, baby. We're learning all about it tonight from two experts on the show, so we're gonna start things off in the comfort of my own home. Roll it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, you know, kick back.
All right, here to teach me everything about BDSM, or as much as they're willing to share, I've got professional dominatrix, Mistress Precious with me, and everybody who I tell that you're gonna be on the show is like, oh my gosh, you got a good one. So I cannot wait to dive in with you. And we also have professional counselor, Megan Pollock, who is also a sex therapist, and you know a thing or two about the kink and BDSM world as well. All right, so let's talk about the basics. What exactly is BDSM?
Well, it's bondage, discipline, sadomasochism.
Bondage, discipline, sadomasochism.
Right, and there's DS in there also. It's dominance, submission, and sadomasochism.
So it's really BDDSSM.
Right.
BDDSSM.
Yes.
Okay, that's
but
what
that's
we're talking
too
about.
much. So we just
okay.
BDSM.
So let's start with bondage.
Okay.
Is that just tying somebody up?
Bondage can take on many different types. Some people enjoy rope bondage. Some people like leather bondage. There's all different kinds. I mean, you have to be careful with when you do rope bondage because you could hurt somebody. So there's certain points that you don't want to hurt. Pressure points.
Isn't that the point for some people though? Is to hurt?
Not bondage enthusiasts. No.
Okay.
No. A bondage enthusiast likes the restriction.
And you can put someone in psychological bondage, which is do not move.
Right.
And they have to hold themselves accountable to not move without consequences.
Without consequences.
That's where the discipline comes in.
Okay. Okay, so now we move to the D, the dominance and the discipline.
Right.
What is that?
The dominance is basically...
Oh yeah, we got the professional dominatrix here. All right, you know what this is.
Well, I mean, basically it's either could be called a top or a bottom also. A dominant is a person who is in control, and the submissive is the one that they're controlling, whether through actions or whether through verbal actions or physical. So there is always a top and a bottom. Whoever is going to be the top or the bottom, they negotiate what is going to be done to them.
And they have limits that are pre-discussed. It says, I won't do this, I will do this, I might consider this. So there's a stop light system that a lot of people use for limits, red, yellow, or green. Green is I'm good, keep going, yellow is slow down, maybe we need to process this, and red is stop. My favorite I ever heard was one woman who told me, hers had a fourth color called beige, which is I'm bored, let's kick this up a notch.
we did a whole show on beige flags, which is pretty boring, basically. Okay, so then what's the difference with S&M, so sadomasochism, in that regard?
So it's what you think it is. Sadism is a love of administering or giving pain, and masochism is a love of being in or receiving pain. And when you think about it, pleasure and pain neurologically are very closely connected. And so for people who maybe like a firmer hand or they like the feeling of something ultra tight, you know, that may be painful to me, like a skirt be so tight around the waist, it would be painful for me, and someone else is like, oh, I love it. It makes me feel really kept up. It makes me feel really safe. And so it's just a borderline, and everybody has their own thresholds.
So how do you explore those thresholds?
Well, you explore with them. You go on a journey. When I see a client, basically when they come to see me, I find out what their experience is and also what they are looking for, basically, if they're into bondage or if they're into foot fetish or whatever, and you take them and you push their limits.
So you're going to get to those limits and find them. Oh, wow.
In a safe, sane, and consensual manner.
Yes.
But people come to me to push their limits. Most of the people that are into S&M is basically type A individuals. They control all day long and they just want to give up the control. I'm playing with your mind. I'm bringing your sexuality out. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking your fantasies and creating them in a safe haven.
So when you're saying you're bringing the sexuality out of people.
Correct. If I force them to do something to themselves, I can. They are submitting to me. They're going to do what I tell them to do, or there will be punishment.
Or there'll be punishment. You don't want to see that side of Mistress Precious.
No.
Or maybe you do.
Some people do. They enjoy that part. But
So when they come to you, Miss Pollock, are they looking to understand what they think may be demons within them, or?
So occasionally I will get someone come to me because they're very conflicted about being what I call kink. There's kink and there's kinky. So kinky is like, I'm mostly vanilla ice cream, but sometimes I put a little chocolate sauce on there. Sometimes I add a little whipped cream or cherry. And so these are people who will dress up their sex lives. And then you have people who are kink who, like, they're rocky road. You know, it's just a part of their hardwiring. And sometimes that's very distressing because it's not something that, until very recently, the mainstream culture had any understanding of or any approval of. And so they would come to me to kind of understand that, and I would basically help them to understand who they were and accept who they are instead of trying to change that. And so there's a lot of exploration in that way. And we have a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughter because it's about pleasure and what brings you pleasure. And most lovers that are good lovers get pleasure from witnessing their partner in pleasure. So it becomes this feedback loop of, maybe I don't particularly like spanking somebody, but you love it so much that I'm going to do that for you.
And the thrill of seeing you
The thrill of
thrilled by it.
seeing you in that way turns me on. It excites me.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, hold on. I want to hear about how people at home who are curious and want to introduce it into their sex life, how should they approach it? You guys down to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, we're going to discuss that coming up, so you stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been exploring the world of BDSM with professional dominatrix Mistress Precious and professional counselor and sex therapist Megan Pollock. And we were just beginning to talk about how to introduce it into your relationship. If you're, piquing the interest of people at home who, maybe tied someone up already at home, used a handcuff or two, and now they're like, we got to take a little step further. How should they approach it?
First of all, they need to talk about it. There's a lot of talking that goes into all of this, but finding out what sounds titillating, what sounds exciting. And if they really want to explore, they can get on a website that sells sexual novelties or toys or equipment, and they can just go through the whole menu of the different things and see, yes, no, maybe, what is that? And see what looks good to them, what sounds good. Maybe a little bit of role play, maybe a little costume. There's all kinds of ways that people can spice things up.
And explore this world.
Yes.
Right.
Have you guys ever witnessed a couple that are both tops or
Yes.
both bottoms? How in the hell do they figure that out?
It's hard. It's very difficult because that's usually when they bring in another play partner. Okay? Because
Okay.
when you have two dominant people, and there's a lot of relationships that both are dominants, and somebody's got to be submissive in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So there's also people that do switch.
Oh.
And a switch is somebody who does top or bottom. And in couples, in relationships, I can teach them how this week you're going to be the top. Next week, you're going to be the submissive. And then that way it kind of keeps the relationship balanced.
Balanced.
Yeah. I have more couples come to me that are both submissives.
Oh.
Yeah, which makes it rather...
Which is great for you, right?
Well, true. Well, but you have to understand, everybody to me is submissive.
Oh. Okay, she's a grand dominatrix.
That's right, that's right.
Baby. I'm submissive to her. I don't even know it yet. No, I am. I'm feeling it. She's in control here. She's in control. Do you have a favorite thing you do to people?
Oh, my goodness. Crawling into somebody's mind, taking them and just rocking their world. Oh, I can fly you around a room.
Hold up, I want to be flown around a room.
Okay, come on.
Have you been flown around a room by Mistress Precious?
No, I have not.
No.
But there's
Hey.
something called subspace that she's referring to, and it is the endorphins are kicking in, the adrenaline's going, and you hit this high. They feel high, and the rest of the world disappears, and they are just floating.
Floating.
And
Literally.
it's supposed to be this incredible space.
Yep.
Subspace.
safe.
Yep, it's called subspace. Drugs and alcohol have nothing on subspace. This is a place of euphoria. I try to explain to people when I ask them, have you ever been into subspace? And they're like, what's subspace? Well, then you've never been there. So what it is, it's almost, you can explain it like a runner's high. You know, when people go out and they run these 26-mile and they're just like on a endorphin rush.
Yes.
That's what subspace is. And you can get to there with either pain or pleasure. There's some people that like tickles, or some people that like to get caned, or
When you size someone up, can you tell?
exactly.
You're like, this
Immediately.
person needs to be tickled, or this.
Immediately.
Okay, what do I want? Although I really want to come check out your dungeon.
I have a 4,000 square foot dungeon, and it's fully equipped. You'll have to look at my website.
I was hoping for an invite, Mistress. I was hoping for an
Okay,
invite.
okay. Well, you know, I don't know if you'd want a camera in there.
Oh man, we're gonna have to
I can
find
rock
out.
your world.
Oh Lord, I'm blushing. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. I'm not on the couch anymore because my world is about to be rocked. Mistress Precious is ready to introduce me to her dungeon.
Well, let me get this out of our way first. There's not a person on this one yet.
A person on this one?
That's a 440-pound hoist. It actually picks up the cage, but people too.
The
So I just want
cage.
to get it out of the way for you.
Oh gosh.
I
Okay.
suspend people in that cage.
All right. You weren't lying.
No, come on in.
Okay,
Welcome.
let's go. Oh my gosh, so how big is this place?
We've got about 4,000 square feet.
Wow.
Welcome to the throne room.
The
Other
throne
than
room.
the wood room.
The wood room.
It has my throne in it, and no man can ever sit in this.
Of course not.
Only women. I've been in this dungeon about 19 years.
19 years, 4,000 square feet. This is not 4,000 square feet, so I know this must go on and on and on.
It does go on and on and on. There are different rooms for different play. But this
Okay.
actually in here, you have a St. Andrew's cross.
Oh my gosh.
Just a few chains.
Chains. Oh my goodness.
We have a bondage table over here.
Oh,
and
and
what's-
it's got a cage underneath.
It's got a cage
I keep seeing
underneath.
cages in here.
Yes, there's a lot of cages. And there's a mirror up above it. And all the mirrors, whenever somebody is laying flat somewhere, there's always a mirror that does not break.
All right, what do we have over here?
That is a spanking bench.
A spanking bench?
Yes, I can actually put you onto that spanking bench and tie you on. See all the little holes?
Oh, these little holes.
You can rope in between those. And this is a so your head and hands go in, and I lock it, and your head's back there, and I have perfect access to the back part of you.
This is like
This is
guillotine
stocks.
story,
Yes, it's called the stocks.
but with without the actual guillotine.
Right. Well, I could always fix that.
Woo, enter the realm of Mistress Precious. All right, so you're a dom,
Yes.
a grand dom, aka
Yes, a professional dominatrix.
You've been doing this for a long time.
Yes. 30 plus years.
Obviously, this is only a small percentage, a small fraction of what you have in this dungeon.
Yes.
Do you have favorite places to go to?
No.
No.
I do like to sit on my throne.
Actually, just for Jake and I,
Oh.
you should take.
Absolutely.
Oh my
So
gosh.
this, the way I start off is usually would be on his knees, and I'm sitting in my throne. and I'm discussing with him safe words and things that could happen during session, but I'm really sizing somebody up to see whether I want to play with them. It's very organized, and it's safe, sane, and consensual. So when I sit in my throne and the collar goes on, the play begins.
What is this room?
This is the medical room.
I feel like
People have medical fetishes.
Okay, you have to know a lot to do a lot.
Yes.
So, like, you obviously didn't go to medical school, but like, how do you?
I play with a lot of doctors.
Oh.
I'm a doctor in a previous life, I guess. These are urethral sounds.
You see how I wasn't even like, I was like, what is this? Sounds?
Uh-huh. They go into the urethra, and there's different sizes.
And then what, you like gong it or something and it vibrates?
No, I can electrify it. I can electrify everything.
In the urethra.
Staplers.
Okay, explain the staplers to me.
Well, the staplers are used in medical play, and I can actually take a man's testicles, push them in, and staple everything shut to look like a vagina. And I have a stapler puller. Some people like pain.
Some people like pain.
Some
And
people like pleasure.
And some people like giving pain.
Yes.
You saw that grin. You saw it.
It's all about fun.
Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been talking BDSM today, and we've been touring Mistress Precious's 4,000 square foot dungeon, and I keep getting my mind blown, and you keep showing me things I've never seen in my life. And we've entered a new room.
This is called the rubber room.
The rubber room. Okay.
Wonderful things could happen in here. In here, this is for heavy duty suspension. We also have, oh, I forgot to tell you, there's also a fetish for balloons.
Balloons? This is like a huge whoopee cushion.
Exactly, except I've had 12 human adults in this. 12. And
Hold on.
birthed them back out and kept the balloon intact. Did not pop the balloon.
I'm sorry, you said inside of this?
Inside.
I'm like feeling claustrophobic, and I'm not even claustrophobic.
It's always fun in there. Some people even ask for sandwiches. They've been in there so long.
Okay, now we're looking at some heavy duty. So this is also a St. Andrew's
A
cross.
St. Andrew's cross, correct. This is a PES electric chair.
PES electric chair.
PES is a maker of electronic stuff. So I can actually, it's very comfortable to sit on, but you basically straddle and you lock somebody down to it, and this I can impale here and impale here.
Impale. And does electrocution happen through those two?
No, I
nodes?
have those on the insertables. Wow. We've got a latex back bed. See that little hole?
Yes.
That's where you breathe.
Where you breathe from.
That's it.
Do you give them like a little straw
Nope.
situation?
I will not allow a straw. Most people make them with straws, but it could actually go down and suffocate you. So you do not use a straw in those.
Okay, so would someone graduate from this table to the balloon?
The balloon is a special kind of person. But yes, it's kind of the same aspect. I mean, I could put somebody in a balloon. What you do with the balloon is you use a blower, you blow it up, you slide somebody in it, and you have to keep it elevated. It gets to about the size of this room. That's how I had 12 people in it.
Hold on, 12 people at once?
Yes. That's why they were asking for a sandwich.
What? I thought it was 12 different people at different times, and it's still intact.
12 people in the balloon at one time. This is a cross-dressing room. When I do full cross-dressers, okay, these are all their clothes. See this stripper pole?
Yes.
I dress them up and make them do this so they can suck my strap.
So they can suck a strap.
I sit right there and they have to dance for me. See? spins.
It spins. It really does spin. Y'all have seen me try to be on a stripper pole on the show before. I am not good, so you ain't getting a show today.
We have corsets, we have high heels, we have wigs, we have maids' outfits, we have lingerie fetishists, we have sissies, we have ballet boots, and we have bras, and we have large appliances for bras. When I do have parties or dress, everything's usually custom made.
Yeah, I believe it.
You have to.
Oh my God! BDSM world is something else. I definitely learned a lot today. And you know what I learned? I think I want to be Mistress Precious's apprentice.
I think you're ready.
We'll see. Cheers to you. We'll see you next time. All right, Mistress, sign me up.